Question number 23. It reads, the court ordered the lorry driver to pay for the dash to my car. Option A, damage, and option B, damages. In case you don't know, this question is from the topic confusable words. Confusable words. The question wants us to choose between damage and damages, both of them existing as nouns. The truth is, damage and damages can exist as verbs and as nouns. They can exist as verbs and as nouns. If damage and damages exist as verbs, they have the same meaning. Their meanings are the same if they exist as verbs. As verbs, damage and damages mean to destroy. To destroy. That is what both of them mean if they exist as verbs. The difference between damage and damages as verbs is damage is the plural form, because a verb is said to be plural if it does not end with s. Whereas damages as a verb is the singular form, because a verb is said to be singular if it ends with s. So if both of them exist as verbs, they carry the same meaning, which is to destroy. Damage being the plural form and damages being the singular form. That is why in examinations, they do not usually test both of them as verbs. In examinations, they do not test damage and damages as verbs, because as verbs, their meanings are the same. In examinations, they usually test damage and damages as nouns. They usually test both of them as nouns in examinations. The reason is that as nouns, damage and damages have different meanings. As nouns, their meanings are not the same. Damage as a noun means destruction. 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 It is the destruction, injury, or harm that is caused or done to somebody or something. It is an uncountable singular noun. It is an uncountable singular noun. It cannot be pluralized if it carries this meaning. On the other hand, damages as a noun means the money paid as compensation for the destruction, injury, or harm that you have caused or done to somebody or something. The money paid as compensation, the monetary compensation for the destruction, injury, or harm that has been caused or done to somebody or something is what we call damages. It is an uncountable plural noun. It is an uncountable plural noun. It cannot be singularized if it has this meaning or if it carries this meaning as a noun. In summary, as nouns, it is damage that means destruction, whereas damages has to do with the money paid as compensation for the destruction or injury or harm that has been caused or done to somebody or something. I believe that is understood. I have noticed that anytime a question is tested under damage and damages, there is a particular construction the question follows. There is always a particular construction a question under damage and damages follows in an examination. If you understand the construction the question under damage and damages follows, the truth is you can answer the question correctly. At this point, let me give you the various constructions that questions under damage and damages usually follow, and I'll tell you the answer for each construction. The first construction: It is you cause or do dash to somebody or something. Look at the construction again. You cause or do dash to somebody or something. Anytime an English question under damage and damages follows this construction, anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction cause or do dash in any form, cause or do dash in any form, either to somebody or something, the answer to the question is always damage. Damage. In other words, you cause or do damage to somebody or something. This is always the answer if a question under damage and damages follows this construction, because you cannot cause or do money. You can only cause or do destruction. And it is damage that has to do with destruction, as in now anyway. So you cause or do damage to somebody or something. I believe this is understood. Let us look at the second construction. It is you pay dash. Look at the construction. You pay dash. You pay dash. Anytime an English question under damage and damages follows this construction, anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction pay dash in any form, pay dash in any form, the answer is always damages. Damages. In other words, you pay damages. This is always the answer if an English question under damage and damages follows this construction, because you cannot pay destruction. You can only pay money. And it is damages that has to do with money. So you pay damages. I believe that is understood. The third construction, it is you pay for the dash caused or done to somebody or something. You pay for the dash caused or done to somebody or something. Anytime an English question follows this construction, pay for the dash. Anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction, pay for the dash, pay for the dash in any form, the answer is always damage. Damage. In other words, you pay for the damage. You cannot pay for the damages. You actually pay for the damage. Please do not confuse pay for the damage for pay damages. They are not the same. Look at them properly. Pay damages, but pay for the damage. This construction is different from this other construction. If it is pay dash in any form, the answer should be damages. But if it is pay for the dash in any form, the answer should be damage. I believe that is understood. The last construction, and it is you sue for dash. Look at the construction again. You sue for dash, sue for dash. Anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction sue for dash in any form, the answer to the question is always damages. Damages. In other words, you always sue for damages. You always sue for damages. Let us apply everything we have looked at to this question with a view to answering it correctly. If you look at the question, you will find out that it follows one of the constructions. And the construction is pay for the dash. Look at it. Pay for the dash. We have said that anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction pay for the dash in any form, pay for the dash in any form, the answer is always damage. The answer is always damage. So if you look at the options, you will find out that the correct option here is option A, damage. So that the question reads, the court ordered the lorry driver to pay for the damage to my car. I believe this is understood. From what we have learned in question number 23, it means that if we have a question of this nature, the rainstorm did a lot of dash to the houses and trees in the area. Option A, damages, and option B, damage. If you look at the question, you will find out that it follows one of the constructions we looked at not quite long. And the construction is did a lot of dash. Did a lot of dash. When we looked at those constructions for damage and damages, we said that anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction cause or do dash, cause or do dash in any form, cause or do dash in any form, the answer should always be damage. For that reason, the correct option for this question is option B, damage. So that the question reads, the rainstorm did a lot of damage to the houses and trees in the area. I believe that is understood. Let us look at the second question very quickly. If we have a question of this nature, because of the dash he did to my car, I am going to sue him for dash. If you look at this question, you will find out that it is made up of two parts. The first part is because of the dash he did to my car. If you look at the first part of the question, you will find out that it follows the construction dash he did to my car. Dash he did to my car, which is the same as saying he did dash to my car. He did dash to my car. And we have said that anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction cause or do dash in any form, cause or do dash in any form, the answer should always be damage. So what should enter the gap in the first part of this question is damage. Damage. Let us look at the second part of the question. The second part of the question is, I am going to sue him for dash. I am going to sue him for dash. If you look at this second part of the question, you will find out that it follows the construction sue him for dash. Sue him for dash. And we have said that anytime an English question under damage and damages follows the construction sue for dash in any form, sue for dash in any form, the answer should always be damages. The answer should always be damages. You always sue for damages and not damage. The reason is that the essence of suing is for monetary compensation. Monetary compensation. Monetary compensation. So you always sue for damages. Therefore, the gap in the second part of the question should be filled with damages. Damages. We have got the answer. It should be damage followed by damages. If you check the options, you will find out that the correct option is option C, damage/damages. So that the question reads, because of the damage he did to my car, I am going to sue him for damages. I believe that is understood. Let us go to the next question number.